All right, Kiss Army, welcome to the KissFAQ Podcast. Thank you for giving us your time today and letting us into your head. I hope we don't do any damage. This is a Kiss-related podcast by the board, for the board. We hope that you enjoy. Welcome to episode 274 of the KissFAQ Podcast. This is going to be I don't know if it's going to be a quick and dirty, but it might be a little dirty. A catch up with the one and only Joe D'Angelo, one of the organizers, let me try that again. I've been up all night. One of the organizers of Cruise Fest 2019, which is, of course, the pre-Kiss Cruise entertainment and excitement that's going to be happening October the 28th and 29th at the airport, Hilton Blue Lagoon in Miami, Florida. Did I get the state right, at least?
You nailed it. You nailed it. Good to see you, man.
Yeah, likewise. So it's been a while since we've had a chance to catch up and find out what is going on in Cruise Fest land, because as I know with you, you're always adding to your events to provide value and added value and more value to people who are going to be participating in the event. So tell me where you're at today, and let's start with some of the stuff that people can look forward to.
What's cool? When we started this with it was Neil Davis and I, and I had been doing this for a couple of years, but Neil kind of was like, let's do this together. We wanted to do something bigger and a little, I don't want to say better, let's say broader. And I think we nailed it. I think this year's going to be great. It's going to be a 2-day rock and roll expo extravaganza. We will be having over 40 tables at our expo, including Kiss Army Warehouse, Creatures of the South, and a whole bunch of vendors like Lydia Chris and Dale Tourborg, the wrestler. And we just got WWE's Medusa is going to be there as well, so that'll be fun. But long story short, that's where we're going with this whole thing. Is we're going to have the expo. We're doing the 2 pool parties. We're going to have 4 bands each night in the concert hall, including Sebastian on Monday as the headliner, and Ace on Tuesday, of course. So there's just, we're Kiss fans. Does Kiss do anything small? So we decided, as Kiss fans, we didn't want to do something small either. So I think it's going to be a really big thing people are going to love, have a great time with for a couple of days before they get on the cruise.
Yeah, so let's talk about Sebastian. Is he doing his 30th anniversary set? Do you know?
He is, but I haven't spoken to him directly for quite a while. But we've been talking to their management. I'm betting that he's going to sprinkle in a Kiss tune or two, just because of the fan that he is of Kiss at that type of environment. I'm expecting it to be a little bit different of a set, like a song or two extra, something like that.
Right.
Have you seen any of the footage from this set, from this tour?
From his current tour, I've checked out a few of the. I'm not a big Skid Row fan. I'm more Slave to the Grind, because I always felt that first album had less to do with Sebastian than the previous guy. So when Slave to the Grind came out, that was the one that had a few more tracks in it that really caught my attention. Plus, it was a bit heavier. I mean, obviously, I know 18 in Life, and I checked that one out. And there were a couple of others, and I have listened to the 30th anniversary edition of that album, which was one extra song, but and the live album on it. So yeah, that's about as familiar as I get with that.
Yeah, his show's been really good. He's very energetic. There's a lot of call him, what do they call that? Call him repeat or whatever it is with the fans, And so looking forward to seeing some of that interaction. I think he's going to get a real good response from the cruisers.
Right. So on Monday night, that's the 28th, you got the Monday night concert featuring Jaded Past, number 13, Cruise Fest All-Star Band.
Yes. That is Ryan Cook, Phil Schaus, Jeremy Asbrock, and I believe Matt Starr is going to be playing drums for that as well. And those are the guys that back up Mr. Ace Frehley. They are also the All-Star Band on Monday night, and we're going to have a whole bunch of guests joining them. John Corabi is going to be doing a song. We have the ladies from Thunder Mother are going to be up there jamming a song. Richie Scarlett, Todd Howarth, and John Regan are each going to be jamming a tune with the band. Bob Bullock is going to be doing several tunes, and John Corabi is going to sing a song with Bob. So that should be a really great set. I think that's going to be a once in a lifetime opportunity to see all those players and in one set for one night.
That's going to be like Nashville Rock and Pod Expo on steroids, because of course Talisman were there, and they had Michael Sweet. God, who else?
Dave Ellefson.
Yep, and all those guys, jamming with them, and that was an incredible set. So for all these Kiss-related folks, I mean, the Kruise Fest All-Star Band could also be called the Usual Suspects, in addition to, Talisman. They're fantastic musicians. They're passionate, and I have no doubt they'll have a fantastic set list put together, because those guys know their rock and roll.
It's not only that they know, it's amazing the amount of songs that are in their catalog.
Mm-hmm.
When you see them play and they pull this song out, I'm not going to name a tune because I'm just anything. It's something you haven't heard on the radio in forever. They did Godzilla at the Rock and Pod. Nailed it. I mean, like, how do you have to really know that song to play that as well as they did. And they do that for every song. They're really amazing. I love those guys. Real talented, bunch of down-to-earth guys. Just raise a beer with them and have a good time with them. They're great. I'm gonna enjoy that set. That's gonna be a highlight for me.
Yeah, some of the nicest people you could ever meet in the rock and roll kind of gravity well. Just really, really nice guys, and really knowledgeable, and just really passionate about what they do. So Sebastian will top off or headline that Monday night concert in the International Ballroom. And then you've got a late night party going on in the Cove Ballroom from midnight to 2 a.m. Tell us about that. That's, I think, got Thunder Mother and Brian Bell as host. So explain how that's all going to happen.
Basically, when Sebastian is done, he'll probably be off the stage by 11:30ish. And you know how things run, where they're never exact, but you get close to. At that point, people are still on. This is the first day of vacation for a lot of people. So we figure, I don't know about you, but at 11:30, I'm not ready to turn on the off switch. I might be Monday after the day I'm going to have, but I want to do something. So Thunder Mother's coming in, and Brian helped facilitate that. He's going to host the event and have those ladies are going to play. They're going to do a little set in the Cove Ballroom. It's going to be real intimate, personal, be a lot of fun. I'm sure the drinks will be flowing. We are in the process now of working on a couple of liquor sponsors to help make the night, a little bit more lubricated.
Because Kiss fans are really shy, and they just need that little bit of extra something, if they're a little bit down in the dumps, they need something to pick them up.
Well played. Yeah, the thought is, and it's always been this way with us, is, if we can do that and pass some savings along to the cruisers, then that's just that much more fun you can have and do and not spend as much. And that's kind of what we're trying to do.
Absolutely. That's what I like about you, Joe. You don't think small. You're always thinking of people and what you can do to make them happier. And alcohol's a really good way to approach that. All right.
It helps lubricate the joints.
It sure does. And as far as you were saying about 11:30 at night, I'm out. That's way past, being an early bird, that does my head in. All right, let's move on to the entertainment on Tuesday the 29th. International Pool Party again. Hotel Pool featuring Kisterius, and I love John Corabi. He is one of my guilty pleasure voices because he's not as widely known as he should be as far as I'm concerned. He's not as respected for his time in Motley Crue. He's not remembered as much as he should be for the Scream. And Angora had some fantastic tracks as well for the few that have circulated for people to get their grubby hands on. So, his stuff all the way up through Union, through him finally doing that Motley 94 album live in Nashville, which just made my whole essence. It just made me so happy that he finally did it, and he had some great musicians backing him on that. I love John, love his voice when he was in Indy, and he was up on that stage, and I'm sitting off to the side. I think I've told the story. I was like, yeah, recognizing the song first and getting a crabby look to the side of the stage at me for being preempting. So I would love to be there to see him in particular that night. So tell us about the pool party.
Well, we're going to do a pool party both days. This party with John on Tuesday was originally thought of as something to give people to do during the day that are coming in but don't want to sit in their room. This hotel is set up kind of on a peninsula with water all around it and beautiful, sort of like this pool area is huge. We'll have John Corabi headline a pool party. It made sense. It turned out that everybody really was into the pool party concept. People were asking, the VIP tickets sold out, and they were the only ones guaranteed to be in the pool party at the DoubleTree because of the size of that pool. Well, where we're at now, the pool's so big, everybody gets to come to the pool party. And when that happened, we realized, let's do one on Monday. So Jaded Pass is going to do a long acoustic 80s rock set. And then Perigo, the performance painter, is going to do his thing the same way Garibaldi does before Kiss. So it'll be fun. He's a local guy. He does great work. He also has a painting up for a raffle, which we'll talk about later. But the pool party Tuesday, Kisterius, I believe they are from Holland, the Netherlands. I'm sorry, I don't remember. I wrote their bio for the website, but I'm just drawing a blank now. Long story short, they're going to open for John. They're going to do a Kiss acoustic set, and then John is going to come up and kick ass in his usual fashion. And if you haven't seen John do his acoustic set on this recent tour he just did with Mike Tramp, you missed out, because we got to see him at a local theater, 15 miles from my house. About 150 people, and both he and Mike Tramp, but particularly he, because I'm fond of him, they kicked it. They were phenomenal. And John is such a great musician that you don't realize how good of a guitar player he is because you're so focused on his singing all the time because he's a front man. But when you watch him play and listen to him play, he's just, I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to this. This is something we're already trying to figure out how to clear our schedules to make sure that we're open during that time frame so I can be on the pool deck because I don't want to miss John. So, but it's definitely going to be a focal point for everybody who's there.
Yeah, he's just so effortless in what he does, and his charisma and his humor, really comes across. So that's really cool.
It saddens me that he and the Daisies are not together anymore. I don't have a problem with Glenn Hughes. I've seen him in various, bands he's been in, but that lineup of the Daisies with those particular 5 guys with Corabi had a, what's the word? Chemistry.
Yep.
That just was infectious. And I'll have to see the Daisies live, but it's going to be hard to recreate that infectious charisma that they had with the fans. So we'll see. I wish John the best and looking forward to seeing him in Miami. Hopefully I'll get a little insight onto where he's going musically after the Cruise Fest.
Yep, hopefully it involves Bruce. That would be the best of all worlds for me. But
yeah, you and me both. It'd be awesome.
But that would be very selfish as well, because the Daisies were, very much a national level act. So, Union, unfortunately, never was. And there probably aren't enough Kiss fans still around who remember them to make it a go, as much as I'd just love them to get together for, say, a week in the theater to do another live DVD and maybe throw in a couple of new bits and pieces. Who knows? That would be enough Union for me. Hey, they'd be a perfect band for the Cruise.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah,
they would. Who knows? Maybe next year's Cruise Fest if we're lucky.
Yeah, who knows? But I was just listening to the new Daisies album today. Actually, really good. It's just covers, but really good covers, very well done. And his version of "Rockin' in the Free World" is better than mine. So that's
excellent. Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about Tuesday night concert, which again will be in the International Ballroom. We got Kiss America. They're of course a cover band who've performed previously at events prior to the Cruise, I believe, last year.
last year.
Thunder Mother again, Return of the Comet, and Ace Frehley. Yeah, I would say there's some excitement there.
Yeah, I had again. I got to see Return of the Comet this year in like April. They did that little jaunt of shows up here in the Northeast, um, and once I saw that show, my wife and I got in the car, and Patrice said to me, "What'd you think?" You know, she's always wants to talk about the show, and I'm like, I looked at her and I said, "I'm glad they're playing Cruise Fest because they nailed it. They're great." Richie surprised me. I haven't seen him in a while live, so when you don't see somebody for a while, you kind of put the memories a little further back. And Richie was really fun to watch live, and he's got a much more different voice than Todd, so you get a different sound from either one of them. And I think it's a great yin and yang. So I'm looking forward to seeing them. Plus, the last two songs of their set, Ace is going to join them for two songs. And correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think the lineup of Budgie, Richie, Todd, John, and Ace have ever been on the stage at the same time together.
Not that I'm aware of.
This is another slice of history, and that just makes me feel good that I'm able to help facilitate that.
Well, you're just making MC Pecco update the Kiss Band's website again with another new lineup to add to his history tracking. I mean, that's going to be really cool to have all those guys. And I mean, I've been watching the videos of Return of the Comet because they just haven't, no one Kiss related is going to come to Northern California. I mean, even Kiss can barely do anything up here. But they're just so good as musicians, and I'm really happy that the interaction between Todd and Richie as guitarist and vocalist is really working. It's as you said, yin and yang. It's a really good, oil and water as well, for that matter. That makes it a little dirtier because they both got voices. Todd can sing his head off. Yeah. And he can deliver riffs, and he can shred as well as play the melodic stuff and get behind the keys for some of the lighter stuff. And Richie, of course, has that attitude, the panache, the swagger that I always like in a rock and roller. And Richie really, I've often sung his praises, and people disagree with me, and that's fine. But I like that. I like that kind of unpredictability, that danger, and also the chops to back it up with, because he's always been pretty spot on stage when I've watched him.
Yeah, I left there saying the Emperor's still on his throne. That's kind of how I looked at it. He really he impressed me. So That's good. I mean, not that means anything to him, I don't know, but to me it meant something, because I left there feeling really confident about the lineup we had put together. And then of course we had those guys play last year, Todd and John, so I know them, and they're just talented couple of guys, man. And nice, too. So nice. Anytime you bump into John Regan, you just sit and have a conversation with the guy. He's just a pleasant, down-to-earth person, and it doesn't seem like there's too many of those, or at least not enough in this world.
No, he's a very classy gentleman. Todd's a really passionate and nice guy, too, Yeah, these guys, they work, they make music, they get out there and they want to deliver it to fans, and here's the perfect location for them to deliver it to fans who are going to truly appreciate it, especially when Ace gets up on that stage, because they're going to do homage to their parts of Frehley's Comet's history on their own, and then Ace is going to join them for, I'm sure, it'll be cool what the songs are that he does with them, and then, of course, he'll headline the final night of your event, which, what better? I mean, growing up, would you ever have thought that you'd be organizing an event where Ace Frehley is headlining the second night of your event?
Julian, if you'd have told me 2 years ago that I'd be booking Ace Frehley, I wouldn't have believed it. I've worked with a lot of bands at different levels, but there are a few that are a little bit out of my reach. And for good reason, and Ace was always one of those people. He was always, Ace Frehley, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee, one of the biggest bands ever walked the earth. You don't think that, but it's been an awesome ride. I mean, it really has been. It's been a lot of work, and I really hope the fans enjoy themselves, and that they realize, Jay and myself and Bill and Neil and our wives, Patrice and Katie, God bless you ladies, putting up with this for all year long, because it is an all year thing. We start right after the cruise and it just goes. And it constantly evolves. Neil's doing a lot of the back end stuff, setting up the staging and the lights and all that. So he's got a lot of the technical stuff, and I handle a lot of the marketing and promotional. He's been doing a lot of that too. So I guess we're all doing stuff, and that's so I hope everybody really enjoys himself. That's the whole game plan.
Ace Frehley, he's tattooed on people's chests.
Yeah.
Go figure. Yeah. So, at your event, you've also got the, the International Kiss Exchange and Rock and Roll Expo going on. 40 tables, music memorabilia, Kiss collectibles. I'm just going to go through your list of people because I'm just blown away. Kiss Army Warehouse, obviously. Lots of great merch. Creatures of the South, Phil Elliott. And again, lots of great merch and collectibles for those of you who were in Nashville, the Rockin' Pod. I will never forgive the person who sniped some really good stuff off me at a great price before I got there and then waved it in front of my face. So great deals to be had. Gene Simmons Vault, Lydia Chris, Amber Fair. Is she doing jewelry?
No, actually, Amber, I should have removed. She was booked, but actually wound up getting double booked and had to cancel. She was going to straps.
Okay, so there's that. Brian Stewart, the publisher of the official Kiss and Ace Frehley magazines. Phil Cass from the mighty Kiss Aussie and Worldwide Collectors Group. Awesome guy. Royal Order and the Paul Stanley Jewelry Private Collection. Dale Torberg, of course, Demon Wrestler. Joined by WWE's Medusa, Tom Feely, and Roman Fernandez. Of course, the Bill Aucoin, not the Bill Auction, the Bill Aucoin Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction. You know what? I just want to say to anyone out there who's listening to this who has not signed the petition to get Bill Aucoin into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, stop by and see Tom and Roman, see the video if they've got it playing, talk to them, sign. Or don't even talk to them. Sign the petition because Bill Aucoin is such an important part of history and Kiss story that it's critically important that everyone can sign that and help make him visible on the radar of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You got the Kiss FBA group. I have no idea what that is.
That is fans by affiliation. It's Kiss. It's a Facebook group.
Okay. Keith Valcourt, of course, he is the Vault guy. He's got some special custom t-shirts that are going to be available. Check him out on Facebook. You can pre-order. Vincent Wrong, the Pick and Stick guys, Vinyl Asylum, Vinyl, Jake J and the Killjoys, Jaded Pass, Big John Hart. He is absolutely insanely cool guy, Big John.
Very much so. Both him and Steve, the guy that works with him, are two really good, solid guys.
Yep. Bob Kulik, is solid as well, and usually has plenty of stuff for you to buy. Thunder Mother, Matt Svashford, author of Kiss Classified, one of the best Kiss books to come out in a long time.
Really well.
Hotter Than Hell Collectibles, Rock the Jacket, and more.
We actually just we can welcome Wendy. And I'm sorry, her last name is escaping me. She is the costume designer for Kiss and has been for the last 17 years. I don't think I put her on the page just yet. She just got signed on yesterday. So she will be there with the table. She is doing a documentary on our men and women in the military. So it's going to be nice to have a positive aspect of that from her. So she'll be there as well.
So how does the expo side of this work in conjunction with the live entertainment that's going on in pool parties? Is it going on for both days in some location at the hotel, or what time kind of is that all happening?
What's really cool about this place, I mean, obviously people know we were booked at the Doubletree, and the Doubletree was a great room, a great place, the way it was set up. But the way the Blue Lagoon is set up, the expo is going to be right in the foyer of the main concert hall. So you're going to walk through the expo on the way in to see the bands. So you'll be able to get there. They'll be open all day for the expo, even during the pool parties. So if you didn't want to go to any pool party for whatever reason or wanted to come in and cool off, you can walk the expo. It'll run all day up to about 8 o'clock at night. And then it'll stop, and then the last two bands of the night will finish off, and then there'll be after parties and drink specials and fun stuff. But it's essentially going to be 10 in the morning, 11 in the morning. I'm not sure the time they're starting it. Jay's having a lot to do with the expo. and it's going to run until about 8 o'clock at night. So that way people can catch them on the way into the show.
And I'm on mute. And you were saying that, giving back is an important part of what you do. So you've got a lot of Cruise Fest charity raffles set up. Why don't you walk me through all of that which you've got going on and how people can get involved in that?
Okay. First off, these events have always had a charity component. I think a lot of the people that do these events want to give back, and our crew does as well. So this year it's going to be the St. Jude's Children's Hospital are going to be the beneficiaries of the profits. What we're doing is we're teaming up with KissFBA again, and we are going to we're selling tickets through our website. FBA is doing some other raffles too, and we're going to combine the money at the end, and it's all going to St. Jude's. But you go to our website, that's cruisefest.com. That's cruisefest with a K, for obvious reasons. And you can win a couple of things. You can win. You can buy raffle tickets to enter to win a Gene Simmons Vault experience on Kiss Cruise 9, which essentially you get your vault at the event that Tuesday night, and then Wednesday morning you can go to the UPS store. It's less than a mile away, and ship it to wherever you got to ship it. Then you get on the cruise ship and you get the Gene Simmons Vault experience. You get to meet Gene, he signs the book and all that stuff, and then when you get home, your vault's waiting for you. So that's the Gene Simmons thing. We also have a Perigo, the performance artist I was telling you, that's playing the pool party on Monday. He did a really cool 5-foot by 5-foot painting that resembles the 4 solo faces from '78. And it's really cool. And he's going to, whoever, obviously you can buy tickets. They're $10, buy as many as you want. And if you get picked, that's your painting. We're also going to have a guitar signed by, and I'm going to read this, Ace Frehley, Sebastian Bach, Bob Kulick, John Corabi, John Regan, Todd Howitt, Richie Scarlett, Budgie Warner, Ryan Cook, Phil Schaus, Jeremy Asbrock, and Matt Starr. Everybody's going to sign this nice guitar, and we're going to raffle that off as well. And Sebastian, with all his generosity here for the event, he's doing an autographed microphone too. So you can enter it. So those are 4 separate raffles. Buy as many tickets as you. So if you buy 10 Gene Simmons Vault experience tickets, you're only going to be entered into the vault. If you want to win one of the others, you got to buy one of their tickets. But go to our website, cruisefest.com with a K. On the home page, there is a button top right that says "Click here for raffles," and it'll take you to the raffle page, and the rest just follow the prompts, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, I think you mentioned something that was very useful for people to know who may be shopping at the expo or possibly winning prizes at the event, is that there's a UPS store very nearby. And of course, Lyft is available in Miami, along with other phone thing, whatever you call them, hail.
Uber.
Yeah. So those are all there and easy to get around if you do need to get down to UPS and get it shipped home before you hit the cruise. So, or even if you're flying and just coming in for the event to get it shipped home. So that's a very useful thing to keep in mind, so that you don't have any limitations other than paying for shipping on what you buy while you're there.
Right. I mean, it's also good for the people that do the Ace Frehley guitar experience, because then if they're buying one of the Ace Frehley guitars, they don't have to carry it on the ship. They can go to the UPS store and ship it before they get on the ship. Speaking of those, we heard and we listened. A lot of people were saying, "Dude, I want to do this guitar, but it's $2,500. I know it's worth it, but with the cruise and with the Paul painting I want to buy and the blah blah blah, it's just not. We can't do it." So we came up with a buy now, pay later plan. Essentially, you'd give us $595, and when you come in to the event, you get your guitar. You go meet Ace. You get your picture with Ace. He signs the guitar. You and your guest get your picture, and then we'll keep the guitar for safekeeping until you pay it off by, I think, July 1st is the date that we have as the deadline. So it's a great way for people to go on the cruise, get out of Christmas, and then make the payments to get their guitar that they bought a couple months earlier. Again, this is a way that we're trying to work with the fans to give them something. We've got about 10 guitars left. If you want one of them for $600, you can get it. And then you can worry about paying it after the new year. Look, I wish my Gene basses came with those opportunities, because they kind of sent me, made me a little broke for a bit when I did them. But, I'm glad that we have that opportunity to offer that to those that may want it. So.
Yeah, my fall guitar came with a payment plan if I had purchased 6 months in advance of the cruise. but when I was purchasing 6 minutes before the cruise, no such luck. Full price now, yeah. So that's a great idea. And the people who get the Ace Frehley guitar experience get a photo with Ace.
You get a photo with Ace, and you get, of course, your guitar signed. Knowing Ace, when he signs guitars, he doesn't just sign his name unless you want that. Usually he signs it, he draws the Ace card and makes the little space scene. I want that. Then so he even said to me, he goes, well, we'll make it personal, and he'll be one-on-one with you. You and a guest get to go in and meet him, get your picture with him. The person doing the pictures is Andrew Brusso. Andrew took the famous photograph of Kiss for the cover of Entertainment Weekly when they reunited. Or was it the reunion tour? I think it was the reunion tour. But long story short, he's going to be there taking the pictures, and everybody's picture is going to come with a Cruise Fest logo on the bottom. So kind of like what the Kiss Cruise does. So that way we don't have to have some wild and crazy background with a bunch of logos on it. It'll be a nice, classy background with you and Ace in front of it. So again, we're really trying to put our best foot forward for everybody. I hope everybody takes advantage of it and enjoys themselves.
I must say you look remarkably calm at this date, and, well, you're about, 3 weeks out?
It is the 9th, 8th, or whatever it is. I think we're a little less than 3 weeks.
Yeah. So
we're like 18 or 19 days, something like that, 20 days, yeah, 19 days.
I don't see any gray hair.
I use Just for Men.
Okay. Well,
no, I don't.
It's obviously working.
If you looked at my beard, you'd know I'm lying. I'll be honest with you. We've got a really good team, and for all the times I've done events, I've had some really crappy events with bad people. This year, there's none of that. We're all working together. Everybody is doing what needs to be done. There's so much work to do on an event like this. You need that help. I'm impressed with the amount of volunteers that we have coming to help us, and that means a lot to me personally, and I think it means a lot to the rest of the guys, that many people are willing to just say, yeah, I'll give up part of my vacation and help you guys because I dig what you're doing, and I think that's cool.
It's very cool, Joe. Anything to add, or is that a nice way just for us to lead into me asking you a couple of quick questions that aren't related to Cruise Fest?
No, fire away. This is always fun. I enjoy talking to you.
All right, so as you probably know, because I no longer get the emails from the cruise, the sail away show's been done in, and that just kills me. I had been led to believe that was like almost sacrosanct, that it's something everyone looks forward to, tossing back a tequila, with the wind whipping through their hair as you start your adventure on the high seas with Kiss, and they've moved it to the second day. What are your kind of thoughts on that? You've gone on a bunch of cruises, Kiss cruises. Yeah. How do you feel about that as a committed regular?
What's funny, I was fortunate to be on all the cruises, and on the first cruise, my wife and I, right after the muster, which is where the muster station where you go and you have to do your little safety briefing, we bolted to the deck. And I could tell you a funny story, but I don't want it to get too long, so I'll just keep going with this one. We bolted to the deck, and we got, I don't know, something like 4th, 5th row. And that became kind of the thing. The second year, we're and a third year. And then I was like, you know what? I've had enough of fighting people for picks and racing to the pool deck. I really loved the music of the Sail Away show. It was so unique. It was the only thing, I think, about that Kiss did on the cruise that you can't see anywhere else. Because their live show, although it doesn't have pyro, you've seen them live 100 times in makeup. It's a little different when they're sitting on stools and playing like, yep, these classic rock legends that they are. I'm sure they'll still be doing that in the round on Tuesday, on the second day. But yeah, there's something about the ship pulling out of port with the shots in the air, watching Kiss or getting ready to play that I will miss.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to hear how the dynamic changes and what fills in that. I mean, no Kiss music or no Kiss live performance that first day at all now, is there? So,
No, I think that what they do, and Kiss is so huge, they can do whatever they want. Problem is that Kiss fans are so nitpicky that if they
they're
didn't
not. That's
change
so unfair. How dare you?
if they didn't change it, they would get flack from the Kiss fans because they didn't change it.
Yeah.
But then they changed something, and then the Kiss fans bitch, "Hey, you changed it, and it's not the change I wanted." I think part of the problem is that people just need to let things evolve and just go enjoy what's in front of you. The older I get, I lost someone recently, a coworker of my wife's who was very close to her for a long time, and life is too short. You just got to say, screw it. Let's go have fun. The one, you know what kills me? Six man had the 6 man Victoria and Victoria, I love you, but the one thing that killed me about your live video the other day, you're doing away with buckets of beer. Really? I'm on a cruise ship. When is the best time to have a bucket of beer? When I'm on a cruise ship. So that's the thing that kills me the most, but I will miss the Sail Away show.
Yeah, I think you raise an absolutely valid point in particular that Kiss fans, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. And
Really are.
you just have to let them, make it what they want to make it and go and enjoy it. Remember, you're going to be there with 2,500 diehard fans from all around the world. In many cases, this is the one time a year you'll see some of those people. Maybe for those people who are going on their first cruise, Alan, their first time meeting a lot of people on this boat that they've known online for many years. And again, that was what it was all about to me last year when I went on this thing. It was more about the people part, meeting people, again, in some cases that I'd known since the early to mid 90s online. I never knew people back in the pen pal days because I didn't do that. But, it was all about the people. So see how it evolves. Now, what's your take on the round stage? I mean, that's something I see has plus and minuses. It's got more kind of front row kind of real estate. It could be interesting depending on how it's presented. What are your thoughts?
I'm not a big fan of bands in the round personally. I think it has its moments, but I don't know. I mean, look, I'm gonna be watching Kiss live on a cruise ship after leaving an island. I'm not gonna be in a bad mood. So my take on it is, again, grab me a bucket of beer. That's right, no
buckets.
But I don't know. I think the biggest part that being in the round or not in the round is not what bothers me. I think what bothers me, from it all is I wish they were doing the Sail Away. When we're pulling out of port, play your music. Let's raise the glass. Something we've been doing for 8 cruises in a row. Let's do it on number 9 and have a great time. But I guess they wanted to mix things up. It might be boring for them to do that same thing over and over again. Who knows?
Yeah, and that doesn't preclude any of you from getting together on some location on the boat and raising your glasses as you sail away and chucking back a tequila. If you need an excuse, you can now say it's in commiseration for there being no acoustic performance going on at that moment. Better have another shot of tequila. Oh, I feel better already. It's time for some cold gin or vodka and orange juice. You can go through the whole list of Paul Stanley's drinks ideas from the Alive album, and off you go. So whatever the case, I think the message is, go and enjoy. Don't go to not enjoy. Just see how it all works out, and they're going to see how it works out too. And you know what? For people who say Kiss never does anything different, here you go. They're doing something different. Criticize away.
I think all the members are each doing 2 events too, which is a little more than years past. I love that they're bringing the pick throwing back. Gene was always a lot of fun in the pick throwing contest. Really was. I remember one time he took his bracelet off because it was bothering him when he was throwing. He took his bracelet off and he threw it out to some woman in the audience. It was amazing. Again, the generosity was just there. But it's fun. It was look, I'm going to have a great time. I wait all year for this. Let me tell you too. After Cruise Fest, I'm going to need a vacation. So I'm looking forward to.
You're going to need a bucket of beer. Oh, snap!
I'm a beer drinker, so it's now that means I have. Well, maybe this is my exercise, walking back and forth to the bar more often.
Yeah, well, that'll go down well.
Right.
Before we wrap up, what are you looking forward to the most about the cruise?
I don't want to sound corny, but on the last day when we're leaving, seeing a sign that there's going to be a KK 10. Because I think I'd like to see them go out with 10. I'll have been on 10 at that point. That will be enough for Joe. And I think that will be me, probably the last time I'll see Kiss. Because if it is true that they're not going to play the same cities again, then the cities that are all around me have already been played. So we'll see how that goes. But I think I'm just looking. You know what I am looking forward to, seriously? Seeing all the people. I've met so many people over the years, Julian, that will be friends of mine forever. But I only see them once a year on the cruise. We talk all the time online and stuff, but that's going to be it. I've met some really awesome people, and seeing them again on the cruise is going to be fun. I have to tell you, I've met some of the best people I've met, and some of the worst people I've met are Kiss fans.
Yep.
So, but it's the best that I keep close to heart. In fact, one of them, Tom and Star Peters, good friends of mine, I met on Kiss Cruise 4. They was the first time they were on the cruise. They've been on every one since. They lived in Staten Island. We stayed close. We saw each other periodically. A house came for sale in my neighborhood, directly across the street from my house. They bought it. So someone I met on Kiss Cruise 4 now lives across the street from me, and we're like family. And not just Kiss family. I mean, there's a real bond there, and I think that's that's the thing I take, from these cruises, are the people that I've met.
What a great positive note to end on. And just remember, you're going to see a lot of those people at the Cruise Fest too. So www.cruisefest with a K. I'm surprised Gene hasn't trademarked that yet. Just they missed that one. Cruisefest.com. Go and enjoy. And Joe, you enjoy your event, and hopefully you'll have some time to actually enjoy during the event, not just when you walk up the gangplank to the boat with kind of jaded, in need of a bucket of beer look on your face, glassy-eyed. Get me out of here. I'm ready for a vacation.
Amen.
All right, Joe D'Angelo, thanks for joining us, and thanks for the update, and we'll see you soon. Thank you for spending time listening to the KissFAQ podcast today. All sales are final. There are no refunds. If you'd like, look us up on Facebook or come over to the KissFAQ message board and discuss the topic we've broadcast today. Don't forget to rate us on iTunes, Spreaker, or wherever you've listened to the show. We hope you'll join us again.